It is Sunday night. That's a new one, folks, right? The Maverick Soul is back. I am Tommy Maher, and I am very, very glad to be back. I'd like to just say a couple things before we get rolling, because boy, oh boy, have we got a show for you tonight. First of all, I want to thank everyone that's been asking when we're coming back and when the show is happening and standing by us and, doing, just being a great support system for the show. I thank each and every one of you, and I truly do from my heart. I really, truly mean that. Because you know what? You're all part of the team, and we're just here to make it really fun on Sunday nights now. And we got a really big shoe tonight, let me tell you. Remember the old Ed Sullivan Hour? Well, this is going to be it for us for Sunday night. We have some super shows coming up. Tonight is going to be amazing, but I want to just say a few words before we get started. For everybody that I, am close in the circles that I know in the music business and everything, I just want to let everybody know I got a call from Neville Chester's 3 days ago. He's doing okay. He sends his love to everyone. He will be getting his first hip done next week. So keep him in your prayers. Neville, we love you. You're always in our prayers. And I know you're going to get through everything okay. And you got to come back and see us real soon because we love you. Okay? All right. Also, Madhouse. Head into Windsor, Canada. Right outside of Detroit, 600 feet, I believe the river is. We're going to be on a $3 million stage for the Blues Fest there, which is going to be in July, I believe, the 11th, 12th, and 13th, a 3-day concert. Dave Mason, Dana Fuchs. I can't even remember all the bands, but a 3-day concert. We're going to be there streaming it live. I'll be doing interviews with all the artists backstage. It's going to be a super, super weekend, so stay tuned for that one. You're going to really, really enjoy that because we're going to be streaming it live, and we're going to take you on some tours of our times in Detroit and in Windsor, Canada. So that's going to be awesome. Awesome bands. Teddy and Louise, thank you so much. And Arnie, love you, man. I just want to also say we got some really... You guys, I'm not even going to give you some names, but I'm going to give you a couple names. The next couple shows coming up. Next week, I'm going to have in the studio the owner of Yazga's Farm and the stage manager for the 45th reunion at Yazga's Farm, and Gerald Abramson and Rachel Holt. And they're my dear friends, and I can't wait to get them in here. And we have so many things to talk about, and this concert's going to be amazing, too. 3-day concert on Yazga's Farm, Woodstock 45th reunion, going to be amazing. 80 bands, 3 days. We'll save that for next week. So, and I can't tell you, Vince Martell is coming the weekend. Vanilla Fudge, right here in the studio, live in the Madhouse with the Maverick Soul. So, incredible shows coming up. I have some other names here. I don't even want to tell you because you're going to flip out. You just stick with us, bear with us. You're going to love who I got coming on these shows. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what tonight's show is about. Tonight's show is about a world, this guy is an icon in the blues circuit. If you don't know who he is, his name is Walter Trout. And if you don't know who Walter Trout is, you don't know the blues. Because Walter Trout is, one of the most incredible blues artists ever in the history of the blues. And Walter had, he had an illness. About 2.5 weeks ago, I believe, 2.5 weeks ago, he had a liver transplant. And this is when your brothers and your sisters come together for you. And this is what, what the caring and sharing part is all about. So Arnie Goodman, who in my book don't get any better. The man is a class act and a heart of gold. And Arnie threw this benefit together for Walter to help him through with his medical expenses. We did it at the Iridium in New York City, which was an incredible night. I can't even tell you. I interviewed everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody. A couple guys came late. which I wish I would have interviewed. But an amazing lineup. You're going to love it. But I got to tell you something. The music, that the people that were on the stage, I had ear orgasms the entire evening. I've seen everybody. I've been to every concert imaginable. And let me tell you something. What these guys did for Walter was, I mean, we just stood there stunned how good it was. I mean, you know, usually when people just get up and start jamming, it's good, but it's like, you know, these guys just jumped up there and said, what do you want to do? We were there for the sound check. We watched the whole thing. I'm telling you, they blew me away. This is when you go from a musician to a pro. And you will, well, you won't see the difference, but we'll try to show you as much as we possibly can. But I do want to give out a couple thank yous to some people at the Iridium, which is, you know, also the home of Les Paul. I mean, Les Paul played there for 14 years every Monday night, and they even still have his seat there. And actually, the night we were there, the day before was Les Paul's 99th, would have been his 99th birthday. So God rest in peace, Les Paul. Because without you, we probably wouldn't be doing anything right now. So I would like to send a couple thank yous out to the owner of the Iridium, Ron Sturm, which was very gracious, and I can't thank you enough, Ron, and can't wait to work with you again. Grace Blake, manager and booking agent in there. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Thank you so much, Grace, for your grace. You were magnificent. And Tomas, you were, I can't even express how good you were to us. You treated us like family. I appreciated it. Janine appreciates it. And the whole place was just a class act. What a place to see a show. You're right up, intimate, right up there with the people. Amazing. Go to the Iridium. You will love the venue. Actually, the night before that, Joe Satriani was there. I mean, this is not just some little, this is the place in New York City to see a band. So thank you to all you guys. And I do want to say, I want to give a special thanks to Rocky Athis and his wife, Jessica, also, for what they did the other day. I was driving to the studio, and his wife called me, and Rocky was in the recording studio recording an album. Now, Rocky is a lead guitarist in the John Maher band. And Rocky called and said, you know, they were in the studio doing an album. And he said, you know, his wife, Jessica, got on the phone and said, you know, we would like to thank you for what you did. And Rocky would like to do a little promo for you. And within an hour, this guy sends me a promo. It just blew me away. Rocky, Jessica, thank you so, so much. You are a class act, my friend. And an amazing guitarist. Amazing. And by the way, Rocky is featured in this month's Rolling Stone magazine, so check that out with the John Mayer band. So Rocky, you're the man. Okay, getting back to the main reason we're here, Mr. Walter Trout. I want to just tell you, before the bands came out and played, they showed a documentary of Walter. I'm going to show you a little clip. For you people that live on another planet might not know who Walter Trout is. He is just, I mean, you have to listen to his music. The man is just, I can't, there's no words to describe him. He's indescribable. But I want to just show you this clip. So there are a couple of people who might not know Walter. This is a documentary that we watch. It was about a 45-minute documentary. It's not 45 minutes. We're going to just show you a clip of it. And it'll give you an idea of what Walter Trout is all about. So, Janine, could you show us that clip from the documentary?
You know, two things I really look for in an artist is someone who's open to suggestions, but someone who also knows how to trust their instincts. And I think that's really Walter in a nutshell.
There's a song on there called The Bottom of the River. That song is a metaphor for what I have been going through. You have to hit bottom. And when you hit the bottom, that's when you decide, am I going to live or am I going to die?
just too hard to fight.
I got John Mayall to come in and play 2 cuts with me. I persuaded him to do something on record that he doesn't really do much anymore.
Yeah, anytime I get to play music with someone that I like, you know, we have fun. It's just an instant chemistry, and we just do what we do.
He just sat down and started playing the boogie woogie, and I saw Eric Korn run over and push record.
I ran into the control room, hit record. John played for about 10 minutes.
And then the rest of us kind of stumbled in the studio and kind of joined in with him, and you know, we got this really cool track. There's a song on called Nobody Moves Me Like You Do. I walked in, I sat down, I showed this bass lick. We started playing it together. About 20 minutes later, we had done 2 versions of the song, and we picked one.
You tap the flow from within, and you just take a ride on the music. That is the Walter Trout Band, isn't it?
It's just about, we're just doing our thing. We get lost in what we're doing. And that's what the people see. That's what the audience sees, and that's what they feel.
Just get deep in the music, you know, and we're playing up there and we're doing it. You know, that feeling is, I live for that feeling, you know.
You belong to me, baby. You know I belong to you.
He plays from his gut, and you can hear it come through in his music.
His whole attitude when he gets up there and starts roaring away to his guitar. He goes into a trance, you know, there's no doubt about that.
He's a great singer, great player, great energy, wicked vibrato, great tone. What more can you ask for in a blues player, you know?
His timing and his phrasing and his tightness in his playing, it's so gorgeous. Everything that he plays is filled with passion and fire.
Nobody moves me like you do. You showed me what love is. Woman, you know, don't you know that's true?
Okay, that was just a little smidget of that 45-minute documentary, and I can tell you, people, there wasn't many dry eyes in that place watching that. And if you get a chance to see that documentary, please do. And I believe that day or that night, Walter's new CD dropped. So you want something to give you an orgasm, pick up that CD, because the man is just incredible. So at this point in time, we're going to go to a quick commercial. We're not going to mess around. I'm not going to be here when we come back, because I'm going to go right into the interviews with the people who gave their time, their hearts, and their souls to come and benefit a brother musician, Mr. Walter Trout. So listen to me. Get yourself comfortable. You're going to see some beautiful, beautiful people that do the right thing for other people. And that's what this world should be all about, helping one another. So sit back, get comfortable, and I'll be back a little later, next commercial break. Enjoy these interviews from the Iridium in New York City for Mr. Walter Trout.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world, with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlo's vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlo's vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
Host Tommy Maher. Keep rocking the blues. Hi, this is Rocky Athos. You are watching the Maverick Soul Hour presented by Madhouse TV with your host Tommy Maher. Keep rocking the blues.
How we doing out there? This is Tommy Maher from Madhouse TV with the Maverick Soul Hour, and I am sitting here in the Iridium in New York City. And tonight we are blessed with the entertainment that we're about to see. And right now I am sitting with Rocky Athos.
How you doing?
How Rock? It's a pleasure to meet you and to be with you. And I cannot wait to. I heard a little bit, but you know I know all about you. So. This is going to be a big night, right? I mean, this
Absolutely.
is, and what a great cause. I mean, a fabulous cause.
Yeah.
But before we even get into that, let's talk about you a little bit.
All right.
Now, you were with John Mayall.
Still with
one of my heroes. But I mean, you went back. You did a live album. I mean, your first album was in 2009.
Yes, it was tough.
Tough.
And then we did a live DVD called Live in London. And from that DVD, we've got a 2-album live set to go with that DVD.
Wow.
And we
Can you just move that up?
And we just got out of the studio and finished our new release, A Special Life, that is out now. And we're out pushing that quite a bit.
Well, we're going to get it out there for you.
Yes, it's called A Special Life.
Special Life. Unbelievable. Now, when is that coming out?
It came out about 2 weeks ago, actually.
Okay, so
we just did a tour of 60 dates in the UK and Germany, Spain, France, 14 different countries, actually. So
nothing wrong with that.
And at the same time, I've got my new album out. It's called Let My Guitar Do the Talking, and it's all instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And John Mayall makes a guest appearance on it.
Cool.
And it's the first track on the CD, so that'll be for sale on my website, rockyathos.com. And I'm going in about on the last week of August to do a new album of my own, also this one with the vocals and everything, with Jim Gaines, who's done every one of my albums.
Yes, I did read about that. You hooked up with him back on that first album, right?
Yes.
And you also worked with, I mean, just to mention a couple of little names, Mr. Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, Peter Green, which my God, love Peter Green, John McVeigh, Mick Taylor?
Now, I never worked with them. Is that what you?
Yeah.
No, I never worked with them. I I actually took their place with being with John Mayall.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
I
I actually was told that you did some gigs with them.
So I had, I've jammed before.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, with like.
I'm
Mick
just
Taylor
saying,
and-
in person, you
Yeah.
have played with these people, which are, the tiny little names that I just
but
mentioned.
Never actually played with them, but yes, it's a great school to be from, because John has great guitarists, so it was fun to get asked.
And now, tell me about the Texas Tornadoes.
Oh, interesting. I was in the first batch. This would have been a few years back. There was only 10 voted,
Right.
and it was Johnny Winter, myself, Billy Gibbons, drawing a blank, but anyway, there was 10 of us.
Right.
And we held that honor for quite some time. Jimmy Vaughn.
Right.
Actually, Stevie didn't come in for another 2 or 3 years before they actually, were able to put him in also. So, yeah, it's been quite
But you also have a very deep connection with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, we were childhood friends.
Yeah, that's incredible. So just enlighten me a little bit. Let me get a little piece of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we met when I was in the 4th grade. He was in the 5th.
Really? That I didn't know.
And we used to go to jam sessions together, growing up when I finally learned to drive. And he'd call and say, there's a jam session going on. I'd come and get him. And,
Right.
Just childhood friends. And stayed in touch periodically after that. When he moved to Austin, Texas, I still was in Dallas, Texas. And when we saw each other, it was always great.
Yeah.
It really was.
But now, did you play together as kids?
No, we weren't actually in the same band. We used to jam together.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean,
Over
when
at-
you were,
yeah.
I mean, you were in 4th grade. You met him.
no one had gigs.
Right. No, but I'm saying,
You
when?
know?
I mean, when did you start playing? What age did you start playing?
That would have been about 4th or 5th grade,
Uh-huh.
something like that. And he had already been playing a couple
Oh,
of years.
okay.
And his brother Jimmy was already great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it was kind of a neat school to be from, being in Oak Cliff, because that's where we're from.
Right,
Is
right.
is right there in Oak Cliff. It's kind of like a breeding ground.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'll say. That's cool. Now, tell me about John Mayall, this new band, and I mean, who's in this lineup?
Well, obviously John, myself, and we've got a bass player, Greg Arzab, and Jay Davenport's the drummer. And we've been touring now for 6 years, and it's just worked out beautifully. I love working with John. He lets you spread your wings,
And that's one thing I've been told about him is that even a lot of guys will bring you in and you're just going to play some chords behind them, but he actually gives you the limelight and lets you have the freedom of playing, right?
Great guy, man.
Yeah, that's
He's great.
I mean, how many guys will do that?
I actually played this room with John about 2 months ago, I think it was. So it's kind of ghostly
I wish
being
I would
here
have
right
known
now.
that. I got to
Yeah.
talk to Arnie about that one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, now let's talk about tonight.
All right.
Walter Trout. What does he mean to you?
Well, Walter obviously was in John Mayall before I was, and I've become very friendly with with Walter through the years.
Right.
We played together a couple of times out on tour when we were booked on the same show and stuff. And when I'm in Dallas, I've come to the shows, and he's just been a great guy. He really has. My son was in a real bad accident several years back and lost his eye.
Oh, sorry.
And Walter gave him a really, really great pep talk, and because it was just like, you'll be all right and stuff. I thought, hey, this guy's all right. So that's kind of why I'm here tonight, actually.
Well,
because he was great to my family.
It all goes around, right?
Yeah, man.
And it's nice to see. And what's nice is that when you do see brothers standing up for each other, you know what I mean? Because
that's
in the
what it's
world
all-
that we're in now, it doesn't really.
That's what it's all about.
It's what it should be all about. Unfortunately, the world has changed a little bit, but we're a little older now, so we kind of had those good roots. You know what I
It
mean?
just felt right doing this.
Yeah.
I wasn't working this week. John and everybody is doing a couple of other things. So it felt perfect. The scheduling worked out, and they asked me to come up and do this, and I was glad to do it.
I'll tell you, I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to sit and hear you guys jam, and I think it's going to be a really, really heavy-duty, emotional,
Yes.
good night. Good vibe. I could tell the vibe is good already.
Oh yeah, we're
And,
we're getting along quite well. No arguments yet.
Well, I don't know. I think I might.
You may start one, right?
No, not me. But so where can the people buy that album? I mean, let's tell the people where they have access to that album.
The new album, A Special Life, you can get it anywhere.
Okay.
You can get all my albums anywhere, whether it's Amazon, eBay. It's got worldwide distribution. I've got 3 albums out on the Armadillo label out of London, England. Voodoo Moon, Miracle, and Lightning. And but my new album is available. It'll probably be in another week on rockyathos.com, and it's called Let My Guitar Do the Talking. And that's my new one
That
with John
sounds pretty
Mayall.
good. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, John Mayall makes a guest appearance on it. It's a great track. So,
Well, and I also, I mean, it is a pleasure and an honor to be with you and to talk with you. And I mean, what you're doing, I think, is phenomenal. I think it's a great thing, and I love to see it. But I will extend an open invitation that, if you ever are out in the city, I mean, Arnie can hook you up, and I'd love you to come out to the studio and do my show. I mean, we are all over the world. We will put you everywhere. Wherever there's a computer, you'll be watched. So I extend that invitation to you. I would love to have you come out.
That would be awesome.
And we'll get you out there and we'll work it out.
Well, thank you.
It was such a pleasure and a privilege, and I can't thank you enough.
Well,
and,
thank you.
Knock 'em dead tonight. It was
got
great. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rocky Athos. You got the Maverick Soul. I am Tommy Maher, and I am live in the Iridium in New York City. And I have a special guest here tonight, Mr. Scott Holt. Scott, what a privilege and pleasure to meet you and to hang with you. And I'm really anxious to see you guys play. But I want to talk about a couple things about you.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple things about you that intrigue me, and there's some things about you that I really, truly relate to. And
I can't wait to hear what it is.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But
all right.
When I read it, I was like, wow, this is what I've been saying all my life, and no one gets it. So I'll get that in a minute.
Man, you're building this up. Now I'm nervous.
Well, first of all, we are here for a great reason.
Right.
I mean, we will talk about that, but we are here to benefit Mr. Walter Trout. So I will get back to him in a minute, but I want to talk about you for a second. You started at the age. Well, you got really moving at 19, right? With Buddy Guy.
Right.
Now, I got to tell you a quick little Buddy Guy story. I met Buddy Guy.
He owes you money.
No.
Oh.
No, I actually was sitting with Jimi Hendrix one night in a place right over here called The Generation, and Buddy Guy was playing.
All right.
And I was sitting across the table from Hendrix.
Wow.
And I was 15 years old, and it was like, and it was just the coolest thing for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was really amazing because he was he was everyone's idol.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
But, I mean, I was like a Hendrix freak, which at that generation later became Electric Ladyland. It's still Electric Ladyland.
Yeah.
But I remember the last thing I remember him saying face to face with me, he goes, I think I'm going to just jump up and jam with Buddy. And he jumped up on the stage,
and he did.
And when we went a few years back to the Hendrix thing at the Beacon, the tribute. He was playing, when he holds a note and they bring him out the tee.
Right.
We had dead center front row, so the stage there is a little high. So I'm saying, as he's holding the note and he's getting the tee and that, so I said, hey, Buddy, the last time I really talked to you was at the Generation back in, I think it was 66 or 67. I think it was 67. And he looked stunned. I mean, he just went, what? And I said, yeah. And Hendrix jumped up and he went, my brother, there ain't many of us left. I was like, and he handed us a pick. It was like the coolest thing.
There you go.
I love Buddy Guy.
I do too.
So, I mean, at 19 years old, you hook up with Buddy Guy. I mean, how does that happen?
It was just a weird set of circumstances. I just started playing guitar, and my dad was working down in Florida, and Buddy and Junior were on tour, and they were coming down there. And I'd just seen a documentary about Louisiana music on the PBS station, and they talked about Buddy, and he was on there. And so my dad calls me, and he's like, "Have you ever heard of Buddy Guy?" I said, "Yeah, I just saw a thing about him on TV." And he goes, "Well, you want to come down and we'll go see the show?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so
That's a cool dad.
That's a real cool dad. So he turns around and calls, because I told him, I said, "Yeah, Buddy's got a club in Chicago called the Checkerboard," which I thought he had at that time. So Buddy calls the checkerboard, and the guy that owned it at that time, I don't think him and Buddy were getting along. So he was just giving Buddy's home phone number out to whoever called looking for him. So my dad calls Buddy at home and says, I got a son that wants to learn how to play guitar, and I'm going to bring him to your show, and could he come and meet you? And he said, yeah. He said, bring him on.
That's cool.
And, you know, today, I don't know, you couldn't do that, you know, today. And it was just the right time. And I met Buddy and saw him perform, saw Junior perform that night.
From what I understand, though, the first time you saw him, you went up and played one song or something? You jammed with him?
No. The first time I saw him, I didn't play with him that night. I'd never seen a blues show. I'd never seen Buddy live.
Was there a time though that you did get up, and then 2 weeks later you actually got the call to come down?
What happened was he that night, the night that I met him, he invited me to come to his hotel the next day and gave me a guitar lesson, and we talked about playing music.
Wow, how cool!
And it was real cool. And then about 8 months later, he invited me to come. He opened his club in Chicago, Legends. And the first night that it was open, I played there with him. That was one of the first times I sat in with him. And then I just, I kept, chasing him around and sitting in with him. And finally he called me one day and he said, hey, you want to join the band? And I said, well, let me call you back. No, I didn't. I was like, yes. But I don't even know if he was offering me a gig. He was like, do you want to? And I was like, yeah, I do. Okay. So I flew to Chicago and got in a van and started touring with Buddy Guy.
Now, another interesting thing I found, the first concert that you ever went to, your dad took you, Elvis Presley?
Elvis, yeah.
How
I
cool.
was like 8 years old, I think.
You must have the coolest dad, man.
My dad was something else. Him and my mom both. My mom's still living, my dad passed away, but they were the best parents I could have.
I'm in the same
boat. The best parents I ever had.
Mine was that, but was with sports,
Yeah.
And like we didn't have any money, but we had a. I'll tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, my life.
But when you were a kid, did you know you didn't have any money?
Yeah, I kind of did, because anyway, it was 6 of us living on top of an antique store in one bedroom.
Right.
So I knew, but I was the richest kid around.
Yeah, you didn't feel like
Believe
you
me,
wanted for
we had a
anything.
woods across the street. We built forts.
Yeah.
We had the life that I wish every kid nowadays could
My
have.
mom and I were talking about that the other day.
We
Because she, we didn't have money when I was growing up, and I told her I never felt
Right.
poor.
Right.
The
only way I think I felt a little poor was like with the clothes, like you couldn't keep up with the.
I couldn't have the Air Jordans that they had at school.
Right. When I went to school, you couldn't wear jeans anyway. So, but you couldn't really dress like the guys down on the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was cool, and I'll tell you, that's where you get your soul from. I believe. I mean, it's from where you how you came up.
Yeah.
And, if you came up with a spoon in your mouth, you don't have it. It's just not there. You got to be down in that raw stuff to feel it.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to get to the part I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
I'm a very spiritual guy. Very spiritual. You have something. You talk about something that I talk to a lot of people about, and a lot of people just. I would say 95% of people don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you actually talk about loudness.
Yeah.
Right? Now, see, I have a T-shirt that says, if it's too loud, you're too old.
Yeah.
But you mean it spiritually, what it does to you. Like, like you say, that doesn't mean walk over and crank it up to 11.
No.
It does something within your body. I know with me, I grew up in a great time. I mean, I grew up when Hendrix coming in and Zeppelin, and I was at Woodstock. My first concert was Woodstock.
Wow.
So
all right, you win.
So I mean, when the Cream, everybody, and spiritually, it does. It's always moved me, and the volume of the music. I mean, like most people be like, oh my God, and like I see a lot of guys with earplugs in them.
Right.
Like I understand it to a point, but I don't understand it to another point. But I do feel what you're saying, because I try to relate it to people and they don't get it. So how do you relate that where they can get it about the volume?
I don't know if I'm any more successful at relating it to them than you are. You have to understand it, and it's not about just cranking the amp up.
Exactly.
Because if you hurt people, because it can get painful.
Sure.
You're not accomplishing your goal anyway.
Right.
But what we try to do is just play. It's music, and to me, music is a very spiritual thing. Period. And I think a lot of times these days music has been so
Bland.
marginalized and just turned into this kind of
machine.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, and I know the people who watch my show are going to say, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah,
but I
these
mean,
old people
I think Neil Young says it very well. The music today is too perfect. There aren't mistakes. If you can't play it if you can't play it live like you recorded it, you shouldn't record it.
Well, they don't play it live though. They record it and then
but
they
they
play the tape and
right,
jump around with the tape.
Right.
So,
right. But that's the sad part, And
it is.
What's weird to me is you would think it would be going the other way because, with all these shows and kids getting into music
Right.
and, I would think it would be getting better and better. But I do see with the youth, coming back to the classic rock a little more than and blues.
I think
and,
the tastes are shifting, and
Yeah,
that's
I do-
always
I
going to
do
happen
too.
because I think that stuff just it
Yeah,
goes
every
in
20
cycles.
years,
Yeah, but I think that we've the next generation of musicians has got a responsibility to try to get a handle on the technology.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of that stuff is great to be able to use, and it's very useful. Like
Right.
I've spent a lot of time in studios, and a lot of that stuff is important. But at the same time, it gets abused. I mean, just because you can do something doesn't mean you necessarily need to.
But being a spiritual guy musically too, isn't that raw stuff? There's nothing better than that.
Well,
raw,
yeah, I love
dig
that.
down, rip your heart out, soul.
Sure, I love
Nothing
that.
better.
But I was talking
I
to
want to cry when I.
Yeah, and
like
that's
when I
what you're
saw
supposed to
Buddy,
do.
When I saw Buddy Guy get inducted into the Kennedy Center, and
Yeah.
Beth Hart came out and did "I'd Rather Walk Away Than See You Go Blind."
Oh yeah,
I cried.
Yeah,
and I'm not
she
ashamed
did a beautiful
of it.
version of that too.
I
That was
tell you,
great.
and even like Plant was, you could see the tears.
Yeah.
It was emotionally.
Yeah.
It was emotionally like right on the money for me because I'll tell you, she blew me away. I mean, I've seen her in the beginning before anybody even knew who she
Right.
was, and she's amazing. I mean,
She's
but
great.
Now she to me is that raw, just raw, rip your soul out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Janice used to be.
Yeah.
That's what I
she
think
sings,
lacks
she
nowadays.
sings better than Janice, so.
Yeah, well, but I'm seeing, but Janice got up on her toes, like. there
Yeah, she
wasn't
was
enough-
going for it.
That emotion just
Right.
had nowhere else to go, and that's,
That's
I want
the
to see
kind
the
of stuff.
veins hanging out of the neck and popping out of your
You
forehead.
want to see blood on the stage?
Absolutely,
That's what it's supposed to be
Because
like.
That's right, and
know?
that that old statement, leave it all on the stage.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't do that,
No.
and it's just a sad way. But I do just want to touch a little bit because I know how important it was for me, but it seems like your dad was really, really a massive force
Yeah.
behind everything that you become.
He was one of my first real, obviously my parent. He was my first
Right.
supporter. Him and my mom
Right.
both. And Buddy became a part of that, and my wife became a key part of that. People that you got to have people that late at night when you're feeling like maybe you're not doing the right thing, they tell you you're getting over and you're doing it. So,
Right.
you know.
Well, I know they're cueing us that they want to get the sound check on, but
Okay.
before we go, please tell the people, give us your website, your
Oh,
face,
yeah.
whatever, whatever you got going on.
www.scottholt.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Flickr. We're on everything. You can't not see us. YouTube. We're everywhere.
And now this new project.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
We're working on it right now. We're trying to get it together. I'm actually up here this week working on some of the tracks, and it's we did a record a couple of years ago called Kudzu, and this is going to be sort of an extension of that with more guitar. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Scott, I can't thank you enough.
Thank
it was
you,
it
man.
was really cool meeting you, and I like where you come from, man.
I appreciate
really
it, man.
truly do.
I appreciate it.
truly do because I have it in a different way, but I know I could feel you. man.
Yeah,
I could feel
all
you.
right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Holt right here. We'll be right back. They're getting ready to do some sound checking, so he's got to go to work. So we'll check you out in a minute. We'll be right back. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, you are with the Maverick Soul. I am Tommy Maher, and we are still backstage at the Iridium in New York City. And it's a really special night. We are here for a benefit for Walter Trout. And there's just people showing up left and right. And now I have sitting with me Mr. Even Stephen Levy, who is going to be playing a little bass tonight,
I'll
right,
be
Steve?
definitely playing some bass. And let me tell you, it's really a pleasure to be here.
It must be.
Yes,
it must
it
be.
is.
There's some great people here already,
Yeah, they're great. Everybody's great. It's an honor. And, I can't be happier than to be here.
Yeah, well, there's a reason you're here, and I really respect that you are here to do the right thing for Walter. I mean, the guy is an amazing musician and deserves everything. So, I mean, I wish it was at the Garden, but no offense to the Iridium, but
hey, this is Les's place,
Yeah,
so
hey, you better believe that. You better believe that.
If it wasn't for Les Paul, there might not be blues.
You got that right.
Surf
They got
music,
that right.
but there wouldn't be the blues.
Well, Savoy Brown helped a little bit in that.
Yeah,
too,
well, players,
they were
of course.
big. They were big. I just did an interview with Kim Simmons, and it was one of my favorite interviews ever. But Mr. Even Stephen Levy, now we were talking as they were doing a sound check here. So tell me a little bit about I know that you have gone from the rock era, blues era into hip hop, which is kind of a right turn.
Well, it was the right turn at the right time.
That's right. That's the key. That's the key.
It was the 90s, and things were starting to hop.
Yeah.
So I decided to be hip.
And we were just talking. We're both the same age, and he grew up on the island, and we were talking about all the old places, the Action House and Hullabaloo, and we can't remember one place that's driving both of us crazy.
There's actually two places I can't remember, so my brain is
remember
on
the
fire.
cave out in Hamptons and the Barge and everything, where the
Barge.
Rascals did their first album,
Yeah.
I think. And I also want to explain something. I know we are in tight quarters here. So the reason you're seeing Janine and the camera is because there's a mirror right here. But this is all we got. So this is rock and roll, and I like it.
I don't think they're getting to see Janine. Maybe she needs
Yeah,
to stand
I think
up.
we should let
Stand up,
see
Janine.
her.
That way you'd be like you're
there
right,
she is.
right in
Okay,
between us.
there she is. So Stephen, what are your feelings about tonight?
Well, it's a great thing that Walter has made it through the circumstances
Right.
that he faced in life, and that the medical community was able to.
He's our age too.
Yeah, to take care of him and help him overcome his issues, and when you get to be older, you're faced with a lot of issues, and sometimes you don't find a way out.
Right.
So it's great that he found his way out, and that we have this opportunity to celebrate him.
Yeah, it's great to see the band of brothers come together. I mean
Yeah.
that's a good thing. I mean it's
The
a
music community is tight. Wherever
Yeah.
you go, you'll find that. I was in Macau, and I encountered the Macau music community in Hong Kong, and it was very close. I had just finished watching Cirque du Soleil, and we were getting ready to take a turbojet boat back to Hong Kong, and we stopped off at a cafe for a bite, and there was a little jam starting up, and I wound up talking to some people over there, and wound up on the bandstand, jamming away with them for about a half an hour, and it turned out that they were the players from the Cirque du Soleil band.
Hey, well, music doesn't have any boundaries, that's for sure.
I was ready to run away with the circus, but my wife grabbed me by the ear and she says, "We got to go, baby. The boat's leaving in 10 minutes."
That must have been cool, though, right?
It was really good.
That is the magical thing about music, that it's just the conduits through everything, to every person in every way. Doesn't matter what language you speak or anything. It's a blessing, it's a blessing.
Even back in the really old days, when we were just running around in grass suits and
Right.
living in trees and stuff like that, it was the beat. Somebody would be beating on a
Right.
drum, and that's what got everybody's attention. That's how
Without
that's
question.
how they told the news.
Right.
So we got to have that drummer.
For millions of years, too, or whatever it was, but it was a lot of years, right?
Yeah.
So now you also were telling me that you used to record. You had a recording business, right? You had a record label.
I have an independent label, iPotato Music, which I'm in the middle of restructuring right
Mm-hmm.
now. I've been running that out of my apartment, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of this horrible construction project behind my house, I've been shut down for a year and a half. But we're working on that, and we've got some government officials fighting with us to get soundproofing done to our buildings, and or offer us a way out, a place to relocate to.
Yeah.
So that would be wonderful if that happens.
Well, you're down by Penn Station, right?
I'm right by Penn Station,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm getting ready to change my whole system over and get myself a Mac 15-inch and a couple of UA Audio Apollo quads, and I'll be mobile. I'll be mobile, baby.
You got to give it back to them. That's what you got to do. You got to start blaring something out the windows.
It's funny. They're really building an amazing site over there with two 65-story office buildings that kind of look like the World Trade Center, and they're going to have a performance space in a big area, 2 acres of space for people, and I want them to let me perform in their space. And I said, but I hope that you don't ask me to turn down.
Good one, good one. Well, listen, how can the people get to you? How can they reach you?
Well, I have a website, of course, bassmastergeneral.com, and it's BASS Master General instead of BASE. And also iPotato Music, I-POTATOMUSIC.com. And of course, I am on Facebook. I have the Bassmaster General on Facebook, and I like
that.
Even Stephen Levy, EVEN, and I've got a couple of others, but
Yeah.
We'll just keep that secret.
All right. Well, I know you got to go do a little sound checking too. So, Mr. Even Stephen Levy, it was a pleasure. It really, truly was. I enjoyed our talk while they were doing the sound check there too, because we had to wait a while. So I did enjoy it, and God bless, and good luck with your noise issue over there. And I hope to see you back in your studio, and maybe come out on a show one day.
I want to come out to the island.
Yeah.
Big props to Madhouse TV.
Hey, there you go. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great night tonight. Let it all hang
I
out.
expect to do some heavy duty jamming.
There you go. All right. You got it right here with the Madhouse. All right. Back with the Maverick Soul. I'm Tommy Maher, and I am sitting with Mr. Ron Berman in the Iridium in the dressing room with the mirror behind us. So things are tight, but we're having a good night. Ron, great night tonight, right?
Excellent night.
Great reason to be here.
Yep, it's a great cause. And Arnie from, excuse me.
Elmore.
I'm sorry. Arnie from Elmore Magazine. You can edit that, right?
Yeah.
Arnie from Elmore helped pull this whole thing together and get some great
Arnie's
musicians.
a great guy.
Lovely guy, and he came through, this was probably a month ago. We just started talking about Walter and the idea of doing something like this to screen the documentary about Walter's life.
Right.
And today's the day of his record release. Blues Came Calling on Provogue Records, and he helped us pull these great musicians together because most of them have a lot of respect for Walter because he's been around for a long time and touched a lot of people.
Without a doubt.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, Walter's been struggling, for the last year to find a donor for a new liver.
Right.
And he had hepatitis C, and he almost didn't make it. And in the last minute, somebody came through and he got a donor that matched his body and everything, and that was about a week and a half ago, and he apparently is already walking around, and he's got a lot of fight in him, and he's been around, and he's tenacious.
Well, if David Crosby pulled it off,
there you go. And
come on, man. I'm sure Walter can pull it off.
Yeah.
And God, our prayers are with him. That's for sure.
Yes.
So, tell me, how are you really connected with this?
Well, I run Mascot Label Group North America in New York. I opened the office here about a year and a half ago.
Right.
We've been around. We're a Dutch-based company. We're based in Rotterdam in Holland. Been around about 25 years there. Walter's one of the original acts on the label. On Provogue is our blues label. And some of the other artists that we have are Robert Cray Band. We have Robin Ford. In Europe, we have Government Mule, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Johnny Lang, Joe Bonamassa. Serious
Joe's
people.
My man. Joe's
serious
my man.
guitar player.
Joe. I love him as a person, too.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He really is.
We have Beth Hart for the world, who's got an amazing voice.
We just talked about her because we were just talking about Buddy Guy when he was inducted into the Kennedy Center, and she did I'd Rather Walk Away.
Beck. It was off the hook.
I was crying. I mean, I'm not no sissy, but I was crying.
No, it was moving.
I love Beth Hart. I love her. I love her. And I think it was, and to see his face and his expression, and even when they flashed the plant, when he he was welcome up, it was a heavy duty. I must have watched that 100 times. 100 times. That's how, I mean, it was, and also the Zeppelin thing when they all come out and that gospel choir come out with the hats on.
Amazing.
How could you not, So that, that's kind of what, music does to people.
Hopefully.
It definitely does to me.
It's supposed to.
And like guys that are playing, like these guys that are here tonight, I mean, we were just talking how, nowadays it kind of doesn't have that. I want to see somebody's veins hanging out and just rip my heart out, rip my soul out, and kind of, it got away from that, and I think it seems like it's getting a little left turn back maybe about, but but to see her do that, to me, it reminded me of like Janice, how you'd see Janice get up on a tippy because she just had nowhere else to go with the emotion. I seen her at Woodstock. I mean, my first show was Woodstock, so I've seen all that time. I mean, I sat with Hendrix and talked to him, and I lived through that great life, and to see it go into that decline in the late 80s and 90s and that, and now to come here and see these guys and see them back a brother like that, it's so. Take notice, everybody. I mean, this is how it's supposed to be, and this is how you're supposed to treat your brothers and sisters on the planet. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way I feel about it. And to see these guys that I know, some of them came a long way for this. Like Jeff Simon, I think he just drove up from Delaware.
Right.
And I mean, that's
Somebody
pretty cool.
From Texas, somebody else I think from Nashville.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of compassion and respect, and I know that he would do it for them as well.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
And there's a small community. I'm sure a lot of these guys have crisscrossed paths over the years at different clubs.
Without a doubt. I mean, I see a few more coming in, but now tonight, you're here. Are you working with Arnie?
Well, I mean,
just supporting
Arnie as a compadre, he supports our music.
Right.
We support his magazine. We love his, he gives us coverage in there. We read it, and it's great.
He's a great guy.
And he's out and about as a, he photographs everyone all over the world because he's not only for work because he's so passionate about it.
Right.
I mean, it's his thing.
We're going out with him, and we're going to cover that Detroit Blues Fest at Windsor.
Nice. Oh, yeah, he told me about that. I'd love to go. I hear it's off the hook.
Come out, hang with us. Come out and hang with us.
I might give him some stuff to bring out to hand out to some people. He offered that. So
cool. We'll be out there we're going out for 5 days, so we'll be out there. It's going to be cool. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I'm Berman at mascotlabelgroup.com. And if you just go to the website under Mascot Label Group, you can find us there. I mean, we also actually recently signed Eric Johnson out of Texas.
Cool.
And he's got a new record coming out in like 2 weeks, and it's a live record in Europe. And Robin Ford's record.
Where did he record that?
It is from his European tour, and it's Holland, Italy, all over the place.
Oh,
it's all put together. And he goes on tour in August in the States. And what else? We also have Leslie West, who you probably know.
Sure do.
And I mean, he's been around, and his last record was great. And he's going to make another record next year.
We saw him get married at
lovely wife.
Yeah. We were that was at the 40th Woodstock reunion at Bethel Woods. He got married on stage. Full circle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's got some stories.
Oh, does he ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were friends, with the Vanilla Fudge and the Rascals and that, so we know, that whole crew kind of thing, So great. I grew up with them too, all of them. It's great. Vince Martell, a real good friend, and I just called him. He was gonna. I tried to get him to come down here, but they're recording actually.
Okay.
They're doing a new album, and he said if I would have known, they would have changed the plans because he's a great guy.
We'll tell him next time when Walter's playing here.
He said just
we'll tell him in advance. We'll tell you in advance. You guys come out.
Let me know,
and
he'll definitely be here. Vince is a great guy.
Okay.
Great guy, and definitely. So I want to thank you for stopping by
Thanks for
and
having
sharing.
us.
And if there's anything else that you want to get out to the world, because we are all over the world.
Just check out Walter Trout's new record that actually is coming out today. Blues Came Calling, and it's a studio album. There's some amazing songs on there, and it's all about his battle and struggle and realizations with what he's been dealing with. And, I mean, we were all praying for him. He got this liver. He actually is walking around, and, we're just, praying that it all, keeps going. And he's got the fight. So hopefully we'll see him on tour next year.
It's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah.
And thanks, everyone, for supporting this event tonight, all the great musicians.
Well, it was a pleasure.
You too.
And I really enjoyed meeting
Thank you.
And we will do something in the future.
I hope so. I'm going to give you my card.
We're going to get you out to the Madhouse, too.
I would love that.
All right. You got it. Okay. You got it right
Take
there.
care.
Maverick Soul, Madhouse. We'll check you right out.
Madhouse.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. Find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Hi, this is Rocky Athos. You are watching the Maverick Soul Hour presented by Madhouse TV with your host, Tommy Maher. Keep rocking the blues.
Out of the tunnel, you couldn't turn left. It had the traffic blocked off. So I sat in the left lane, of course, for about an hour. Then I finally got a break and got over it.
Yeah, we got to the Midtown Tunnel at 2:45. We didn't get here coming across town till, what, 4 o'clock or something? We did, no.
Yeah,
No, 20 to 5.
She wants you to get going. No nonsense with you.
She should do that at home.
Oh, let's see. I don't know.
We'll just wing it.
Can you get me going?
Yeah,
and
we'll
then
wing
I'll
it.
start talking about
All right,
it.
you ready, Janine? Oh, we're going. Oh. I didn't know we were on. All right, I am live with Mr. Jeff Simon from George Thorogood's Destroyers.
Howdy, gang.
And we did have Jeff, as all you know, and Bill in the studio, which was a great night. And we had a good time. Everybody at the Madhouse sends their wishes to you. They had to work. They had to do a little show out there. But we're here with you, and we're here for a great reason, right?
Mr. Trout, yes.
Yeah. Pull that mic up.
Oh, yes, we're here for a very good reason. Trying to raise some cash for Mr. Trout. So that's good. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Now, what does he mean to you? What does he mean to you that made you think that you should be here?
Well, Arnie Goodman called me, and Arnie's good friends. Arnie organized, and asked me to help out. And we're on a 3-week break on our Destroyers tour. So I had the night off.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been following your tour on Facebook. I don't know. I know I check you out. Bill never responds. At least you respond once in a while.
Yeah, Bill doesn't respond much on Facebook.
He shows a lot of pictures of his feet relaxing, or something in the relaxation mode.
He's on there, but he doesn't communicate
Right.
a lot.
No,
So he's not.
no.
Don't take it personally.
No, I don't. I got his number. I got his number. But it's good to see that and it looks like a very, very successful tour.
Very good. Yeah, Canada is our strongest market. So it was great. It was a great support, and God bless everybody that comes out there. That allows us to continue on.
Yeah, well, I
they
mean,
hire you back, and it never ceases to amaze me in 40 years.
I'll tell you. I mean, I've seen a lot of pictures because I have been following the tour. I mean, it looks like you're selling out everywhere you go. It looks like you have massive response to everything you're doing. I mean,
I mean, some of the pitches were amazing. I mean, you're playing some big places too, right?
Yeah, played some great places. I just, I'm always looking over my shoulder, waiting for somebody to catch us.
Yeah.
We're getting away with it.
Hey, you guys deserve it. You deserve it. You guys are, you've always never not given the people their money's worth. I mean, you guys always leave it on the stage. Always.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we deserve it, but I'm just very thankful that we're able to.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: if you didn't deserve it, you wouldn't be there. You couldn't be doing it.
Okay.
Think about that.
Well, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that discussion.
Take it as that's a good thing. It's a good thing. You deserve it, and I hope you keep doing it for another 20 years. So, how's it feel? Going back out again. Now you're on a 3-week hiatus.
3-week break, and we start up again on the 19th in Atlantic City.
Oh, that's closer to home for you.
Close enough to you guys.
I saw it on the thing. I was thinking about it.
There's one in northern Jersey. It's actually a rib fest.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the town though.
I got the whole list of your tour.
But it's it's like north of the city,
Mhm.
so I don't know how far it is for you.
Yeah. Oh, we might have to take a little
you
run.
guys out and participate in the in the fun.
Yeah,
Have some
well,
fun,
that is fun because I've been to a lot of your shows.
because you deserve it.
And I tell you the truth, I should have done it and I forgot because remember the last time I told you, it was the weirdest thing when I told you I have a Destroyer shirt and you go, you do not, and I said I really do. I swear to you, and there's my witness right there. When I went home that night, whatever bag I pulled out, there it was. And so I wore it the next day to the studio just to show them that I wasn't lying. So I did have it. But
You're a man of your
I
word.
will wear it proudly if we come and see you in Atlantic City or wherever or wherever we can get to you. But going back to tonight, this is a great thing. I mean, it's a great thing to see the support of people getting behind a fellow musician and doing the right thing. In a world that kind of needs that a little more.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of it that goes on, but
Yeah.
it's really great to see people come together
Right.
for any cause. And
Right,
there's,
that's what I mean.
So it's good. It's
Yeah.
a great thing, and humbled, be able to participate and be a part of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I was listening to that sound check. It sounded awesome, man. You guys sounded great. It was a nice jam.
Well,
that was nice. Yeah, you
we
got
got some pretty serious
serious
6-stringers up
You
there.
ain't kidding,
so,
man. And that Hammond ain't sounding bad either.
Yeah, I know. Well, poor
Woo.
Brian, I can't hear Brian all that well. But
Really?
Brian's
I
a great
guess I was
player,
in a good
so,
spot. So
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun.
yeah,
It'll
it's
be
cool.
good.
I'm really looking forward
How
to
are
it.
the pipes?
Good.
Okay.
Been doing a few things. I'm doing the Woodstock 45th reunion up at Yazga's Farm.
I saw
80 bands.
I mean, I saw your stuff up there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So,
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's going to be great this year, I think. It's in the forest, not Bethel Woods, but in the forest at Yazga's Farm, where it all really should be. And I'm glad that you're following along on that. That's cool. I'm honored. I'm
I'll
honored.
keep an eye on you.
I know you do. I know you do. Every now and then you give me a little shot.
Give me a nudge. Let you know I'm still out there.
I know where you are. I'm following you. But we would like to get you back out to the studio one day too, and because we had a great time with you guys, and everybody loves you. And if you ever are in the neighborhood, we would love to have you come out.
I'd just like to come up and pal around. I just, when
Yeah.
I'm home, I have like my grandkids in
Right.
the house.
I have 6 of them.
So, man, it takes like something like this to get me out of the
Yeah.
house anymore. But and it's all good.
They're
I
hard to
love it.
leave, though, aren't they?
You know?
It's hard to leave them.
I have a good time with them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
I have 6 grandsons. They all live. I think we talked about this the last time. I love every moment of it. Every moment of it. So, and I know you're a good family guy, and it's just good to see. I just like being around good people, and I know you're a good person.
There
I
you
know
go.
you
Good
are.
energy.
Yeah,
That's what
definitely.
it's all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because there's a lot of bad stuff out there, so it's nice.
I don't pay any attention to that.
Well, that's good.
Try not to.
That's good. That's good. I'm not that fortunate.
It's negative energy.
I know, but it's hard to get around it.
Yeah.
You got to go. Just driving
Come on,
somewhere.
people, get positive.
Yeah, you're only passing through. It's a quick trip. Enjoy it. Let's all just get together.
Exactly
That's
right.
Right. So, Mr. Jeff Simon. Well, Walter. I mean, what a great musician too. I mean, my God, that guy is. I mean, he has entertained.
You're talking
Trout.
about Walter Trout.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't
amazing. I mean, the guy is amazing.
Water knows a lot of notes. He can really play it. I've only seen him one time. And
Yeah.
It was about 10 years ago. He played at the Bucks County Blues Society picnic. And that's when I saw him. Awesome. He just...
Yeah, he's amazing.
You know, there's certain things, but it's just he can really play. He's really... So, but he had his liver transplant.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
the transplant, and the last thing I read was he was doing well.
He's
Do you
up
know-
and
do we
walking
know-
around. He's up and walking around. So
Okay.
things are looking good.
Nobody's given me the update.
Well,
about
we just
that.
had an
Sorry
FJ
for the
date.
ignorance there.
And he's doing well. He's up and walking around and doing well from what I was just told.
Oh,
so
man, that's
God
good
bless
news.
him, and hopefully everything works out, which,
Yeah.
I think it will. I got that vibe that I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really happy to see you. I'm glad, I was very happy when Arnie told me you were going to be here because, we
Well,
we
bless
enjoy
your heart,
hanging out,
Tom.
man. You're a good dude. You're a good dude. So where do you start the tour when you go back?
Atlantic
And how
City.
long is it?
Atlantic City, it goes from the 19th of June to the 22nd of July. It's a lot of northeast corridor, and then we're headed out towards the west, and we're doing lots of good stuff.
So then when it
it's gonna be
finishes, you're
great.
going to join Bill and take a few of those pictures with the legs out? He's got to be the most, mellow guy, man. And he's into the skiing and stuff.
I know that picture. He took a picture of himself on
Yeah.
his lounge chair
Yeah.
out in the back of his house.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to see that. Come on, Blau. Nobody wants to see your feet. Do they?
That's rubbing it in, man. We want to get off our feet.
Yeah, Billy's got a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah, he's a good
Gets
guy.
it from his father.
Yeah,
He's
good guy.
wicked.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. But, Jeff, as always, it's a pleasure. And we will come up and hook up with you somewhere along the tour, if we're allowed.
Oh, great. Okay, we'll work on that.
Yeah, we definitely will. All right?
That's nice.
So
Atlantic City's not good. I got hammered for that.
Yeah.
But we'll work on something.
All right, definitely.
But anyway, thanks for having me, Tom.
It was a pleasure,
It's
as
always-
always, and I can't wait to do it again. And we'll get you out there in the studio, and
Okay.
we'll put something together. All right? So, Mr. Jeff Simon, George Thorogood and the Destroyers,
All right.
right there. You are with the Maverick Soul with Madhouse TV. I am Tommy Maher, and we are at the Iridium in New York City, and I am sitting with Mr. Eli Cook, who made the trip up from Virginia to a benefit to help out a fellow musician, Mr. Walter Trout.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Tommy.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. I respect that you are here, and I think it's very cool that you guys are all putting this thing together to help a great musician and a great guy and a great, fellow person, and it's a good thing to see nowadays, And I mean, you came a long way. You came from Virginia, right?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't miss it. And like you said, it's great that Walter Trout has gotten this sort of turnout with all the benefits people have put on for him.
Yeah. Now you have worked with some big people. I know you've worked with B.B. King.
Yep.
And you just came off of a tour with Johnny Winter.
Yeah. We just we played South by Southwest this March in Austin with Johnny Winter, and that was pretty awesome.
That had to be a trip and a half, man.
Yeah, it was, and he's I think 70 now, and he's still rocking. Didn't slow
Yeah,
down.
we saw him a couple years back. But I mean, now for a guy, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Had to be a rush and a half. When you got that call.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, just even get to see Johnny Winter play is awesome.
Yeah.
But to hear him play through my amp is even cooler. So yeah.
Yeah. So how long of a tour was that? Is it still going on?
It's not. We actually finished our tour this spring a couple weeks ago. But we just had a new record come out on Cleopatra, and so we were out promoting that for a few weeks. It's called Primitive Sun, and it's just come out, and it features a lot of really cool guest artists.
Oh, cool.
Leslie West from Mountain.
Sure, he's one of our Long Island boys.
Yeah. Tinsley Ellis. A bunch of greats. So.
Well, I mean, being a young musician and being in that company, that's got to be a rush and a half. It's got to be amazing. I mean, you must go home and just go like, I just can't even believe what I just did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times that very much is the case.
But obviously, the talent has to be there, else you wouldn't be there. So
The talent
I
and the
mean,
patience.
I've heard. I know Arnie very well, and when Arnie tells me this kid is unbelievable, you got to be pretty unbelievable. So I'm really looking forward to listening and hearing you tonight. But what is your feeling about the whole vibe? I mean, we just listened to a little sound check. Did you?
Man, I mean, I didn't even really know what to expect coming up to this. I didn't really know the full scope of who was playing, the names. It's quite legendary. If you're a student of blues and blues rock guitar, it's sort of speechless. And then
Who's who?
And then Jeff on drums. I had no idea, and it's just like.
Jeff's a great guy. I mean,
Yeah, and then George Thorogood and the Destroyers, that cassette when I was 14, I mean, that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
So this is like, I can't stop grinning, you know. This.
That's what I mean. It's got to be overwhelming to you, but all in a good, positive way. And the greatest thing about it is that they have enough respect for you that you are here. There you go. I mean, let yourself know that too. Just don't be saying, "Hey, why am I here?" You belong here, else you wouldn't be here.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
So, what's your future? What's coming up with you?
So right now we're just touring, trying to book more dates and stay busy promoting the new record.
Mm-hmm.
I play a lot of solo acoustic blues, do the Roots thing, and then I play with my band as well. And we're playing theaters, festivals, and bars. I mean, the home of the blues, anywhere and everywhere. And put the new record out and seeing where that goes.
Cool. How can people get this record?
You can type in Eli Cook and go to my website, elicook.com, and also Cleopatra Records, who put the album out, and iTunes, of course, all that good stuff. I'm sure it's on YouTube by now as well. And, yeah.
And do you have a Facebook page also?
Absolutely, and you can get to all that through the website, elicook.com.
Well, I think all of the Madhouse fans and the Maverick Soul fans ought to jump on Eli's wagon because this guy is definitely going to be on a jet soon, I can tell you that. And one last question, I just want to, what does Walter Trout mean to you?
Walter Trout, man, he's everything you can do with a Stratocaster, and it's awesome, and he's really a genuine, from the heart kind of performer, and he puts his all into it, and he hasn't let the passion go out. It hasn't become rote routine with him over the years.
He keeps improving.
Right, exactly.
Which, he's never become stagnant. He's always going further, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
It's inspiring to see that someone can do that through several decades,
right.
And
yeah.
that's awesome.
And I think he's going to go even further too, because it sounds like he's doing well, and we definitely wish him all the love and everything good health and that he can get, and he gets better real quick, and it's going to be with a little help from guys like you. Hey, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, man.
And, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And what can I say, man? I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope that we could hook up and maybe have you in the studio one night.
I'd love
to. Come on my show. And, we've had the Destroyers out there. We've had 10 Years After out there, the Vanilla Fudge. We've had everybody. It's not Wayne's World. It's the real deal. And Arnie will tell you. Well, I'm sure Arnie's going to get you out there anyway. We got to get you out there. So, I'm looking forward to a big future from you, and I will be following you, and God bless you, and the best of luck to you, really.
Thanks
it was a
very
pleasure,
much, Tom.
and I'm really looking forward to seeing you do your thing out there.
Yeah, man, thank you.
All right. All right, you're with the Maverick Soul. I am Tommy Maher, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting with a legend here, Mr. John Paris. John, what a pleasure. I know that we kind of know each other through a very, very close friend. You got to eat that mic, though.
Our good friend Neville.
Boy,
Neville Chester's.
Neville,
we miss you,
we
man.
finally got together. Here we are. He'll be watching, too, I promise you.
We love you, and we miss you.
And we miss you, and we can't wait for you to get better and get your butt back over here, because
Amen.
everyone's waiting, and
Amen.
you're in everyone's prayers, and you know that I talk about it on all my shows. So, Neville, we're finally meeting. I know you tried many times to do this, but we're here. So everything's cool. So, John, you're originally from Milwaukee.
Grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 15 miles from Waukesha, where Les Paul was born.
And this is the house of Les Paul, right?
We're at the Iridium, the house of Les Paul, and yesterday would have been Les's 99th
right.
birthday.
That's
happy birthday, Les. We
yeah,
miss you
happy
a lot.
birthday. Yeah. Now you have toured with some major people. Mr. Bo Diddley,
I've worked with Bo a lot.
Mr. McTaylor,
McTaylor, we did a few gigs together.
Johnny Winter,
Johnny Winter, we did a lot of gigs together.
Chuck Berry,
Chuck, I only did 4 gigs with, and I opened 4 once, and I sat in with a couple of times.
Mr. Les Paul,
Les and I jammed here and at the other Iridium on 63rd Street, and at the original was at Fat Tuesdays down in the Village.
Right.
Many times, and it's really, I often tell people, it's like the highlight of my life.
Just gotta pull that up. The mic.
Like the.
Make believe you were singing.
Where's the mic stand? It's the highlight of my life that I got to know him.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this expression, all roads lead to Les Paul, because in all the years that I used to see him play here and get to sit in with him, it was not just guitar players that came to see him. It was not just musicians that came to see him. There were doctors and lawyers and politicians and astronauts, and he touched everybody. You know, all roads.
Without question. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing. Here he is, the bull in the china closet. Kind of a cool thing to walk in and just see that poster on the wall there, right?
It's unbelievable.
It is.
You know, he was an incredible guy, and you know, he would sit here and talk like we're talking, just like a regular guy, and yet he was this international, universally respected icon.
Without question. Well, and some other people, Mr. John Lee Hooker.
I only played with John Lee once. I did a gig.
That
with
counts.
him, but I jammed with him a bunch of times because we were on shows often, and it was just great to be in his presence.
Yeah,
you know? And like Muddy Waters, I sat in with Muddy even before I met Johnny Winter. I got to sit in with Muddy in like '75, I think. You know, I got to I played. I was bugging everybody in the band. Let me sit in with my idol, Muddy Waters, you know, and nobody wanted to let me sit in. And finally, I went up to Calvin Jones, the bass player. I said, "Man, you know, Muddy's my idol. I'd love to sit in." He says, "Oh, you play bass?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Here, take the bass. I need a break. I wound up doing the whole set." You know?
Yeah, you do play bass and guitar, right?
Well, I play bass with Johnny, and I play guitar with Bo, and I play guitar in my own group.
And you also play with Percy Sledge.
I did one gig with Uptown Horns, who very good friends of mine, called me to back up Percy Sledge, and you know, they've done a lot of gigs with me over the years.
Elvin Bishop.
Elvin, I did a few gigs with, and he wonderful guy.
Yeah,
and an important guy. I mean, he was on that Chicago scene with Bloomfield and Butterfield and Charlie Musselwhite and all those guys. And I had a cousin who sadly passed away recently, Brian Friedman from Madison, Wisconsin, who also played with Charlie Musselwhite and Mike Bloomfield in that time frame. And he's on the new Al Cooper produced Mike Bloomfield tribute.
Oh, really?
So I was thrilled to see that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
B.B. King, Freddie King.
Well, you know, Les and I sat in with B.B. King one night at the club, and you know, Les and B.B. have a mutual admiration society going way back, and you know, Les was there, and he invited me to sit with him, and B.B. called him up, and Les says, "John, you go up, John. I'm not going." I said, "Les, he didn't call me. He called you." He says, "Well, I'll go if you go." So I said, "Come on," and B.B. gave Les his guitar to play, and B.B. just sang. And everybody was like, "Wow, BB gave that guy his guitar, you know, wow." You
that
know,
guy.
That guy, Les Paul, there wouldn't, you know.
That's right. He wouldn't have anything in his hand.
You know, so, you know, it was great to see the two of them together, you know.
But you've also recorded with Bob Dylan?
I did a session. This was a really interesting thing because I was doing demos. A buddy of mine hooked me up to do some demos with Ron Wood.
Right.
Right in the neighborhood here. Woody had a bunch of tunes that he wanted to get down. And I played bass mostly and had a couple of drummers, Anton Fig and Tommy Price from Joan Jett's band. And think Billy Idol came down one day, and Steve Stevens came down one day, and Woody attracted all these people. And one day Dylan walks in, and we wound up jamming. Woody and his assembled group, and Bob and Charlie Sexton was there, and we just jammed. Bob had a couple ideas. I don't think anything is ever going to come of these recordings. Who knows? I mean, Woody might have used some of this stuff, but at one point there was a break in the session, and I went up to Bob and I said, Bob, do you remember the Solberg family from Hibbing? Because James Solberg, great blues guitar player, a buddy of mine, he was a next door neighbor to the Zimmermans. And Jim's older brother used to go to school with Bob. They were good buddies, And so Dylan looks at me and says, he says, you know Chuck Solberg? I said, yeah, I know Chuck Solberg, and I used to be in a band with his brother Jim, And that took the edge off for me, because here's this icon, Bob Dylan, and I'm like freaking out to be in the session. And all of a sudden he became like a fellow Midwesterner, So that led to us recording together, and we did this session. It was an amazing insight, because Dylan came in, me and Anton, and I think it was Ben Tench from Tom Petty's band, and a couple other people joined in. Just a little studio in the middle of nowhere, and he booked the band, booked the studio, and came in and just started noodling on the piano and messing around with the guitar, and 2 hours later we had like 5 tracks.
Wow.
Totally new stuff. Just, okay, this is in D, this is a shuffle, just pour it out of him. He's just a music machine.
Well, you have lived quite a blessed life.
Well, where's some wood?
It's all over the place here. But you have lived a blessed life.
I've been very lucky.
And I've heard, of course, through our mutual buddy.
I still haven't had a hit record, though. That's,
You're doing all right. And I have heard just about everything about you through our buddy Neville. And
have you heard the CDs that I've done?
Yeah.
I got. You have copies?
He at his where he was living.
I got to get you copies.
Oh, I would love it.
I've got 2 CDs out.
Love
I'm working on a third, and on a couple other things. Arnie put out this Rattlesnake guitar Peter Green tribute.
Yeah.
And I was honored to be on that.
Yeah. Well, and also we're going to have to get Arnie to have you come out to the studio one night.
Cool.
I would love to have you come out. We're moving to Sunday nights, my show, so we're going to bring back the old Ed Sullivan hour.
It's great to be here for Walter.
Yeah, and that's what I did want to finish with, your feelings about Walter.
Well, I saw Walter about a year ago at B.B. King's, I think. I think it was about then that he was headlining BB's, and it was great. I hadn't seen him in ages. I remembered him from when he played with John Mayall.
Right.
We did shows together, and he tore it up.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe he was sick, because after I'd seen him, he looked great.
Right.
And he was in great shape, and it was fantastic. And he gave me this Luther Allison tribute record that he did, and I knew Luther, and Jim Solberg played with Luther for ages, and co-wrote a lot of those tunes. So I was really thrilled that he gave me that CD, and it's a killer.
Well, I would like to take you up on that CD offer, but we do have to wrap it up.
Tommy,
but John,
I'm
so glad that we finally met, because I know this is a long time coming, as they say,
Well,
and
at last we did it.
I see you got one of Jeff's that shirt.
I knew Jeff Simon was going to be there. So
I have the same shirt too. I do. All right, John, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, and we definitely want to have you come out to the Madhouse.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you got to mention Monday nights at B.B. King's.
There you go.
Lucille's. Come on down, everybody.
There you go. Mr. John Paris.
Thank you.
All right. You got the Maverick Soul, and I am sitting here in the Iridium with the owner, Mr. Ron Stern.
That would be me.
That would be him.
That illustrious title is mine.
What a night we have here tonight, huh?
Crazy night, huh?
I think it's a beautiful night.
Beautiful night for Walter.
It's a beautiful to see these guys all come together for a brother is and I mean you got quite some names in here.
Quite some names, quite a colorful crowd.
quite. And with that sound check, it sounds like it's going to be a really good night.
Oh yeah, well these guys are masters.
Oh,
you know,
unbelievable. How'd that
Coming from the
B3
best
sound?
bands. I wasn't here for the sound check.
It sounded incredible.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. But
Yeah.
so, obviously you're a friend of Arnie's, and you've done a lot of things with Arnie. How do you feel about tonight?
I feel great about tonight. We want to do some more for Walter. Luckily, he is doing well.
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
I mean,
Somebody
I
was
guess
saying
that's-
he's up and walking and everything.
Oh,
So
I
that's,
didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I assume. Well, I think I got the transplant like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but I don't know who it was. Just told us that he was up and walking around. You know, and
Yay, Walter.
doing very well.
Walter.
Walter. Cool.
Yeah, Walter's a great guy. I mean,
unbelievable.
he's one of those unsung heroes. You know,
Without a doubt.
there's a bunch of them, but Walter happens to be one of the best of the unsung heroes. I mean, people know who he is, but he's one of those guys that more people should know, but a lot of people know who he is. I mean,
Unquestionably.
he's got a passionate fan
Yeah.
base. And,
Well, I'll tell you.
You know,
I mean, like the blues is very big on Long Island, and I mean, he's very big out there. He
Oh,
is
good. Yeah.
massive. I mean, I know like the band that I was just. Well, it was a
I
couple
mean,
years.
he's pretty big here too.
Yeah.
I mean, New York
No, I
City.
know, but I'm
So-
saying
so maybe I'm underplaying him by you
the
saying that. I'm
blues
like, okay.
action out on the island is massive, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
He is a big. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a club I've been in that somebody hasn't played one of his
I
covers.
didn't know that. You know, it's Long Island. It's funny because we just had, I mean, not to change the subject,
Yeah.
but we just had Joe Satriani last night for Les's birthday. And Joe Satriani's from Long Island.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just jogging my memory. We'll go back to Walter.
He just
but
played the Space, I believe, out there.
Joe? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
We had Les Paul would have been 99
99,
yesterday.
yeah.
And, you know, Les played every Monday
Yeah,
night for
yeah.
like 14 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, Joe was here last night. And, no, it just jogged me because Long Island is like a real fertile bed. I mean, that guy alone, I didn't realize he taught Andy
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai, Andy Timmons, Kirk Hammett,
Right.
and some other guys, but like 3 or 4 other major guys. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so Long Island. So Walter's big in Long Island. Back to Walter.
Without question, very
Okay.
big influence out there, very big. I mean,
Yeah.
because blues bands out there there are just millions of them, and I mean good. I mean, I believe that Long Island is the music mecca of the world right now. There's so many. You talk about unsung heroes and talents that'll never be probably heard. The list is endless.
And one
out
of the
there.
best unsung bands of all time, the Good Rats from
Good
Long
Rats,
Island,
the
right?
Good Rats. Oh, the Rascals.
The Rats.
Mountain,
Those guys
I mean,
weren't
you know.
totally. No, but those are bigger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
just had, you know, unsung, and we
Right.
were talking about unsung
Yeah.
heroes. The Good Rats.
Well,
were like
and we just
that,
lost
that
Pepe
band.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, sad.
Last year,
Good guy,
right?
good guy. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to hang out with him at Ubie's OTJs. My friend owned it, Al Ubit, out in West Islip, and they were the house band there, and they played there every week. I seen him, with the
Oh,
baseball
well,
bat.
it'd be cool to be educated in Long Island blues because
Oh.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, how could I learn about that? Because I don't even really know that.
Yeah, well, there's even I think a Facebook page, Long Island Blues Society. Yeah, I just had Michael Packer on my show too.
Yeah, he's cool.
Good
Giving
guy.
out his blues awards. Go, Michael, go.
I love him.
He's watching this.
I
Michael
love him.
Packer.
Michael
Shout out.
Packer, he's a great guy. Great album too. He put out.
Oh,
Great
did he?
album. Yeah, he just put part 2 of it out. Yeah,
But
great.
going back to Walter, like you said, and then, you know, he's big in the Long Island scene. That was one thing that I was respect about Walter. He really came up, like he's one of those guys that really cut his teeth by playing. I remember when he was here last time, and he's played here several times already, really rapid fashion. I mean, we only got introduced to Walter maybe a couple of years ago here, and he's played like 2 or 3 times already. And the last time he was here was on a Les Paul Monday. And, you know, we have Les Paul Trio, and we have a
Right.
special guest, and Walter was that guest that night. And I had huge respect for Walter because he's like one of those guys that really played every club up and down the Jersey Shore, Long Island, whatever. He really put his
Paid his
time in.
dues.
Yeah, and that's what a blues player should do,
Yeah.
right? I mean, a blues player, that's what it's about.
That's how
Like, a
you
blues
get the
player is a
blues.
yeah, basically.
You got to be blue to get the blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be born with that golden spoon in your mouth and be a blues player. That's for sure.
Without a
and,
doubt.
And you're right though. You know, I don't because I am aware of him and the music that he's done. So I don't. You know, you're right though. He is.
You don't
really-
see him the way that I'm
Right,
seeing him
right.
because I came later to Walter's
Right.
music than you did.
Yeah.
So I've only really checked out Walter the last several years. So I was coming really with
We
fresh
covered,
ears.
My band's covered a lot of his stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a band. Cool.
I had many bands.
Oh, okay.
maybe someday I'll be able to come in.
Without doubt. Why not? Shake
And
it up.
and I would even like to have you invite you to come out to our studio one time, and we'll sit and talk about your club out on my show, and
oh, that'd be cool. Sure.
It would be great.
Yeah, get some education from you too.
Well, we get you all over the world too. This is the mecca of the world right here. I mean, all the tourists will be coming here.
Now I'm getting nervous. I might
place.
clam up. You mean actually people watch this show? Yikes.
Are you kidding me? This is live. Well, this isn't live. We're going to edit this, but we go all over the world. Anywhere in the world where there's a computer, you can watch the show.
Okay.
Anywhere. I don't care if it's in a treehouse in Africa. You can watch it.
Even in North Korea?
Anywhere.
Okay.
If they have computers, and I'm sure they do have a few.
Yeah. They got some hungry rabbits. They have some hungry.
He's not watching the basketball games. He's watching this.
Or feeding people to dogs.
Yeah. His relatives, his uncles.
Or eating dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Iridium, or what do you want to talk about?
I would like to talk about it.
I mean, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I want to talk about,
What do you want to talk about?
You must have a
deep soul. Kick out of it.
You must have a deep soul for music to be putting the people that you do put in this club. I mean, to put Les Paul in here for that many years on Monday nights. I mean, you have to have it within.
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I'm not a musician, but I definitely have a good ears, and yeah, I don't know.
You must have a deep love for it.
Yeah, I love music.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a musician, so that was kind of interesting. People are always surprised at that, though. People always expect you to be a musician.
I'll tell you though, usually the most educated people about it are non-musicians.
Probably.
They're the encyclopedias.
That makes sense. Yeah, because
really
you're caught up in your own music, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm into music, of course, and I'm passionate about Iridium. And what I like about our club is that since it's so intimate, we can do a lot of stuff that other clubs wouldn't do because they'd be afraid that they wouldn't be able to fill the seats or whatever. So we can take more artistic leaps of faith, and things usually work out okay. So we can present a lot more music, a lot more interesting music, and our fan base, which is kind of cool, is a very, very, very knowledgeable, passionate fan base. Yeah, that's really pretty wild.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's pretty wild.
I blew this out all over. I have a lot of people on Facebook, and I blew this tonight out all over the place, and I was very impressed with the feedback that I got of the place, how intimate it is, and what a great soulful place it is.
Well,
and
cool.
it went on
Yeah,
and on
that's
and on,
cool.
and everything was good. There was not a negative thing said, which is that's
pretty
hard.
rare.
It's very rare.
Pretty wild.
Especially in this business, because it's a tough business nowadays.
Yeah, I could kind of believe it. I mean, it's like since I'm here and I don't think I'm full of myself, so it's kind of surprising when you say something like that. But yeah, we take it really seriously. We try to do the right things, so we present really good artists. So I guess it resonates with people.
Well, I mean, I know on the island, when they hear Iridium, they're thinking, "Hey, that's the place to be."
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
really,
that's
for
really
sure.
cool. Yeah, no. Yep.
And like I think Neville Chesters, right? Neville's a very, very dear friend of mine, and he loves this place.
That's cool.
He's over back in, hopefully getting better in England, but the place speaks for itself. I mean, the vibe in here, the people. Look.
Yeah, it's very It's very relaxed, and people usually are impressed that there's. If you're in the industry, if you're an industry person, like Ken Dashow from 104.3.
Right.
He came in, the first time he came in, we were friends, and the first time he came in, he was like really surprised because he's like, wow, I can see Joe Blow at the bar, and this one's sitting down, and I could just get to them, and in a bigger place, obviously, it's dark, you can't see anybody, everybody's sitting like way over there, and it's like here, everybody's on top of it, and as far as the sound goes, somebody once told me it sounds like, a giant headphone here, like you're in a giant headphone. It's good. Yeah,
it's good.
I'm
a sound guy, and
yeah,
I was here for the whole sound check, and
yeah, because the sound, the speakers are Maher, and Les Paul, who went back with, I think it was Gene Maher. He knew Altec, and he knew everybody. Ampec for the what was
right?
That? Yeah, Ampec, right? Is that the company?
Ampex.
But anyway, so Les was instrumental in the sound, and it's a small, intimate room, so it just works. So you're getting the sound off the stage, and then you're getting some reinforcement.
Well, the key to it too is the intimacy of it and the quality of musicians you have.
That's true. That really is true. The musicians, as much as the audio system here is audiophile quality, the musicians are so good.
That's,
and and that's a mark of a good musician, like you know. I mean, a good musician knows how to play it at a house. So sometimes, like we had John Hyatt in here, and we filmed him for a show that we do on PBS, and he was, I was like, wow, John, it's really cool because you kind of play small ball, you know what I mean? And he's like, well, I don't know if he took that as a compliment or what, but he said, well, we're used to playing big places and stuff like that. I think he took it as a compliment. He said, we're used to playing big places and everything like that, but in a place like this, you got to play to the room. And, and that's really, so the guys that know how to play.
Yeah, well, I mean,
know how to play
the
to
Stones,
the room.
before they start every tour, they go to a little club. They want to feel that, vibe from the people, and when you're up close and, like this is great. I mean, where can you see musicians like that and be this up close?
Listen, the fact that Kirk Yano comes down to this club all the time.
He's a troublemaker.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. But the fact that Kirk Yano comes down here says a lot about the quality of this club. Okay, because he could go, a guy like him can go anywhere and does go anywhere, and he comes to Iridium. So there you go. Right?
That about answers
Shout out
that.
to Kirk Yano. Thank you, Ron. Come on over, Kirk. Okay.
He's coming. He's coming.
Okay,
He's going to give him a kiss.
He's very loose. Right here. Right here.
Thank you so much. And Ron's helped so many of the great. He's helped Mick Taylor and Ginger Baker. He booked him before anyone brought him to New York. 2 years ago. I know, but it was fun.
He's got a new
Think
album.
About it.
New album.
I know, but Mick Taylor, Ron was the first guy, and then
Taylor.
Then when the Rolling Stones saw him, they said we better put him back in the band.
Right,
Thank you so much.
Ron put him on stage, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, stage.
He's a crazy man.
No, we love him. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, anyway.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know what time it is. What time do we got? Oh, okay. We're
we
almost
got
getting
plenty
ready
of
to
time.
go.
So,
but
anyway,
I definitely would like to have you come out and
I would love to come
let the
out.
world, talk about your place. I mean, the island. This is the place. When people talk, this is the place. That's the truth. I'm not blowing smoke. It's the truth.
Well, it's funny before we go because you could cut it in and out, but because it's a blues program, right? Madhouse TV. It's everything.
Well, I have. This is my TV show, the Maverick Soul Hour.
The Maverick Soul Hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had them all on. I mean, I had the Destroyers on the
Maverick
show.
Soul. Yeah, the Destroyers.
Yeah,
Cool.
I had the 10 Years After, Vanilla
Wow.
Fudge. We did a Day with the Who.
Oh wow.
We don't play.
I gotta put this on tonight.
Well, it won't be on tonight.
I'll check out.
Yeah, you can check out
the
some of my
program.
other shows. We have 34 shows. We're the biggest in North America.
What's the website?
I'll give you my card.
Well, say it on the air.
Madhouse TV.
Madhouse TV.
.com.
Madhouse. Our house. It's a madhouse in the middle of the street.
There
Madhouse.
You can't buy that
It's a
advertisement,
castle
Mr.
and a
Neely.
keep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Sturm,
Okay.
owner of the Iridium,
Okay.
and we are about ready to get
I'm
ready.
here all week.
And we're going to have him out
Okay.
at the
Thank you.
Madhouse
Thank you.
on
Okay.
the Maverick Soul.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. We are back with the Maverick Soul. I am Tommy Maher, and I am sitting with Mr. Brian Cady, who will be playing one of my favorite instruments tonight, the Hammond B3, with the Leslie in there, which makes a sound like butter to toast. It is, anybody that knows me knows I love that. Vanilla Fudge, Deep Purple, give me some of that stuff, because it's just what a sound that gives
Who
to
doesn't love a B3,
Oh my
right?
God. I mean, I just want to get another band that has one. I was in a band that had one, and I just want it back so bad, because it just the horizons are endless with it.
It's so nice to get to a club where they have a nice B3 and a Leslie in great shape, and it sounds terrific.
So tonight we are honoring Mr. Walter Trout.
Yes.
What does he mean to you?
Oh, Walter is just he's an amazing musician and just an amazing individual. He's gone through over the past few years, and as bleak as it was for him, and it's a good fortune. He's now gone through his transplant, and he's on the mend. And
yeah, we just got word that he's up and walking around.
That's what I heard, and I know he's saying that the first thing he wants to do is
play,
play, and then work to get back out on the road. I believe he did 100 shows last year, even in poor health.
Yeah. And everybody said you wouldn't have known he was even sick.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, quite a little gathering tonight, huh?
Yeah, we've got some terrific musicians on the show tonight. Lots of great guests, and of course today's the day that Walter's CD was released. And,
right.
as well as the documentary DVD. So it's
Right.
just a very exciting night here.
And Les Paul would have been 99 yesterday.
That's right.
So
right.
it's a very, very all the line, all
karmic
the
things going on at
everything,
work, right?
everything's lining up correctly. Well, I did. Was that you playing on the sound check?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
man.
much. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
man. I loved it. I was
Thank
just asked Janine. I was just sitting there. I want that back. I want that sound back. I love it. I love it. Give me that church. Give me
You
that
got
church.
it.
I
You
love
got
it.
it.
So now I know you also work with Arnie, right?
Yes, I've worked with Arnie. I've done some work with him on a lot of different projects. Also, I do a lot of work with Elmore Magazine.
You're right.
So yeah, keep busy.
That's good. And you live in Jersey.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna.
Don't hold that against me.
I'll have to send you a tram or something to get you out to do some playing with us or something.
All you got to do is invite me. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
well,
Love it.
I'll take you up on that. Don't
I'll take
worry
you up
about
on it, though.
All right. Well, it's something to think about. Actually, the keyboard, we're doing the 45th reunion at Yazga's Farm for the Woodstock reunion, and the keyboard player's not coming. So
You got my number.
I do now. We might be calling you. So I mean, it looks like a great night tonight. I am really dying to hear this because I mean, just a little the three songs I heard blew me away.
You've got Scott, you've got Rocky, you've got Jeff.
Oh,
Kirk. I
God.
mean, these are just incredible musicians.
And
it's an honor to be playing with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like speechless. I can't wait to get out there. I really can't
and me both.
because it's just is it a big crowd out there?
It's filling up.
Good.
Lots of guests coming in for the second set. So we've got some nice surprises tonight.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
good.
fun.
Yeah, I hope so. So I want to thank you for coming by. Now, are you any CDs or anything that you got going on, or
not right now.
So
You'll be the first to know.
we'll have to do one together.
I'd love it.
We'll
Say when. Call
definitely.
me.
You got it. So I would like to thank you, Mr. Brian Caddy. You are quite a musician, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you out there in a couple minutes. So
Thank you
we
very
got to
much.
end this and get it moving. And thanks so much.
I
And
appreciate you
we
having
will
me.
talk again. I promise
I look
you.
forward
I
to it.
promise you, because there's nothing like that B3 having.
You
nothing.
got that right.
All right, we'll
Thank
catch you. We'll be back in a little while. All right. At this moment, I really am in the madhouse because I'm with the madman right here, Mr. Kurt, as in Kirk Douglas, Yano.
Hi, everyone.
He is going to be playing bass tonight with this incredible group of musicians to honor and help out a brother musician, Mr. Walter Trout. And you wear a lot of different hats.
I wear many hats, sir.
So, enlighten us.
Well, my real job is I'm a recording engineer, producer, and I make records. And I've worked with many artists from Public Enemy, and I made their big record, Fear of a Black Planet, and to Mariah Carey, and I did her big song, Dream Lover and Fantasy. And I also recorded the last Miles Davis record, Doo Bop. I was part of that team, along with many modern people, along with working with Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi, who are the 21st century blues people who are carrying the torch.
Yes, without a doubt.
Without
And you
doubt.
won 3 Grammys?
I have 3 Grammys as a recording engineer, yes, sir.
Let me give you 5 on that one, bro.
And my best friend is Arnie Goodman for 30 years.
And Arnie is a great guy.
Yes,
he
he's a
is
brother.
a great,
He's a brother.
great guy. I did hear the sound check. I didn't see who was out there, and it was amazing. You guys are just kicking it.
Thank you so much.
You were killing
it's,
it.
You know, when you have it's almost. I would say this is a super group.
It's like
you have Scott
it's
Holt
like an all-star game
on
out
guitar
here.
and singing. You know, who holds his own as a main guy, and along with his years with Buddy Guy.
Yeah.
And then you have Rocky, who still plays with John Mayall, and you have a founding member of George Thorogood in the Destroyers. You know, after 41 years rocking,
Right.
doing Bad to the Bone. I mean, how can you be mad at that?
They just did my show.
There you go.
They did. They're great guys. I love Jeff. He's a great
Yeah.
human being. And I mean, look at me. He jumped in his car from
Yeah.
Delaware, came up here for this.
No, but he also dropped off his son at
dropped
Newark
his son
Airport.
at Newark Airport.
He could have taken his son a little bit earlier and didn't have to deal with the tunnel traffic.
Well, he
but
did
it's
get,
okay.
He did.
But we
tell
love
me
New York. That's why we love New York.
That's right. It took me 45 minutes to get him across town. I got news for you.
Can we talk?
45 minutes, man. I was like, it took me nothing to get
Did
there.
you take the tunnel or the bridge?
Tunnel.
See, you
I
should
know.
have got off.
I was going to take the bridge. Don't worry about it.
Thank you so much.
He jumped on the other one, so it's okay.
I got in the way of Ron Sturm, so now it's Brian's turn. Thank you so much.
So, are you excited about this tonight?
I'm so excited because It's a great thing because New York City is so many different types of music. Not only, we have rock, we have blues, we have jazz, we have Broadway, we have Americana, we have folk music, we have everything. But this is about supporting a fellow blues person who needed help.
Right.
And it's everyone coming together at one time to help them out.
It's great. I mean, and the buzz is going in there.
Yeah.
It's sounding good. I mean,
good.
everything. Everybody's up.
Yes.
You can really feel it. It's really a good
There
deal.
you go.
It's what it really should be about, right?
Yes.
So, what do you got coming up in the future? I mean, are you working
Right
on
now,
any
I'm
major
working
projects?
with a great, the future of, I would say, maybe crossover jazz is a piano player by the name of Jonathan Batiste. And he's on his way to do Bonnaroo this weekend, and he's playing Central Park at the end of June. Very good kid.
I'm
A
wondering
Juilliard
if I-
graduate. He's 27.
I'm wondering.
And he's from New Orleans, and he's from a very famous musical family.
Yeah. Now, how was it working with Derek Trucks? And
Derek and Susan, they're sweethearts.
Yeah, it was good.
So kind.
That's some band, huh?
Oh,
Was it 11 pieces in there?
11, 12, whatever, It's like, But it's about Susan singing and her guitar playing and Derek doing call and response.
It's kind of
They-
their
it's-
dream.
Can I say it's musical love?
Yeah.
It's all about musical
That's
love.
cool.
Yep.
And that's something the world could use. Some
Yes.
more love. That's
Yes,
for sure. Because
isn't that what music's about?
I think so.
It's just like maybe you might cut this out, but I was telling a friend that, your younger generation, you guys have almost destroyed the music business. I mean, growing up, we had teeny bops, and we knew Bobby Rydell, and we knew Sean Cassidy and different things. But some of this other stuff with auto-tune and these computer programs.
I'm so
and
with
there's-
you, man.
And it's like you're destroying. Thank God we have a blues community, and we have jazz, and we can listen to great indie rock.
Well, we have a young kid coming in here tonight.
Actually, we
Mr.
have
Eli,
two young kids.
Eli
we
Cook.
have Eli Cook and Solomon Hicks.
Yes.
A 19-year-old from Harlem that's been playing around the scene since he was 14.
Right.
He'll be here with us.
And we're getting close. Are you opening with the band?
I'm opening with. I'm in part of the house band, Tommy.
Cool stuff.
So
man.
thank you so much.
And I definitely would like to have you come out to the studio.
I would
one.
love to.
I
and
really
I'll
would.
bring some of my guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't bring any angry people. As we were talking.
Definitely, we got to do that. Is
Thank
that a
you
deal?
so much.
Is
Yes,
that
sir.
a deal? We're going to do it.
I'm going to see you at Windsor.
We are going to see you at Windsor. Yes.
20th anniversary of the Windsor Blues Fest International. Thank you so much.
And I thank you.
Okay.
It was a pleasure, and I can't wait to see this happen
There you
tonight.
go.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right. I am Tommy Maher, the Maverick Soul, and I am sitting here in the backstage of the Iridium in New York City with
Suzanne Kajin. I publish Elmore Magazine.
And we were just talking, because all you guys know Janine, if they ever got married, her name would be?
Janine Kajin, which, like I was saying, is wrong on a lot of different levels. And God knows what our kids would be like.
Well, Arnie speaks very highly of you. So tell me your position with Arnie.
My position with Arnie. Arnie's my partner. Arnie and I started Elmore Magazine.
Well, that's a position.
Yeah, Arnie and I started Elmore Magazine 10 years ago, and actually more than 10 years ago. And we conceived a music magazine that would be about American music with a history. Blues, jazz, country, rock and roll, no hip-hop, no disco, no world music, no classical music. Okay?
You go, girl.
Just, American, and we called it Elmore after, among other things, Elmore James, but because Elmore is kind of a funky, American name. There aren't any
Delta.
Yeah, there aren't any Sir Elmores floating around that I know of.
Right.
So, and we've been doing it very successfully for 10 years. This issue we've got country women on the cover. But we cover a lot of blues, like this Walter Trout thing tonight. Yep, absolutely.
Great night.
This is going to be a fabulous night.
Unbelievable. I'm so looking forward to it.
All the people that are here, it's
like an all-star
It is an all-star. It is an all-star.
It's great.
Crowd.
Without a doubt, a lot of the talent is just oozing out of here.
Well, I don't know about oozing, but it's flowing.
It's oozing. It's oozing. Trust me.
We have to be careful with choice of words here.
It's oozing. It's oozing. So now, working with Arnie, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear a little something about that.
Well, what I tell people about working with Arnie is that Arnie's the one who knows everything about music, and I'm
He's
the
the
one who can
encyclopedia.
spell. And that's pretty true. His spelling and punctuation leaves a little bit to be desired, but his knowledge is
He's a
from
walking
the
encyclopedia.
top of Himalayas to the bottom of the ocean floor. It's
I could sit and
unbelievable.
talk to him for hours.
I do.
And I just absorb it all because it's stuff I would.
And he's funny too.
Yeah,
he's
a great
funny. He's
guy.
got a great sense
he's
of
a
humor
great
about
man.
it. He doesn't preach.
He cares about people.
Absolutely.
Really,
Absolutely.
he's a good
guy. But that's our collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
It is whenever I have a question about blues or a lot of music, I will ask Arnie. I don't ask him too much about folk, but otherwise, because somebody's sitting there going, my cow died, and I wish he hadn't, is not Arnie's thing.
And the whiskey.
Well, the
broke my
whiskey's
bottle
okay.
of whiskey.
The whiskey's okay. Whiskey's okay.
Well, it's got to be a sad thing, He broke his bottle of whiskey and the cow died.
No, that's the blues. I broke my bottle of whiskey, and
In
my
my
woman
pocket.
left. And my woman left me.
That's
That's
right.
the blues. That's the blues.
You got it. Well, we're looking forward to this gig that's about to start.
So am I. I
I'm
wanna
very
get out there.
excited. We're all excited, and we do want to get out there. And I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you for asking me.
And,
This is delightful.
Well, we would like to even have you. I mean, next time Arnie comes out to the studio, we'd love you to come out.
I would
you
love
have
to
an
do
open
that.
invitation.
Thank
We'd love you
you.
to come out and see the studio because it's a beautiful studio, and he's brought some of the. He's so good to me, and it's just a privilege to know him. And I'm sure it would be the same with you. And I would love to have you come out.
Thank you very
So
much.
have
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would be honored. Thank you.
We would love to have you.
Thank
so,
you. Okay,
tell
cool.
the Madhouse. You're
tell
on the
the-
Madhouse.
I'm on the Madhouse TV, and I fit right in.
You got it right there from the lady herself. So we're going to go check out a show. What do you say?
I'm ready. Let's.
We're
hit
down. Later.
Bye bye.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed that little trip with me and Janine and the Madhouse. It was quite a night. There he is, the man himself, Les Paul. And there is the man that made it all happen, Arnie, Rocky, Jeff Simon, Eli Cook, Even Steven, John Paris, Scott Holt. Amazing musicians. Unbelievable. What a night it was. I hope we gave you a little insight of what happens when brothers and sisters get together and do the right thing for each other. And I got to tell you something, the music was absolutely incredible. And like Jeff Simon said, there was some serious six-stringers up there. And let me tell you, man, it was really, really, areas loud is good. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our first Sunday night with the Maverick Soul. Back in the Madhouse. We are back. We have some great shows coming up for you. Unbelievable guests, big names. You're going to love it. I thank you all for sharing this time with us. I'm really, really happy to be back. And love to you all. Have a blessed week. And we will see you next week right here in the Madhouse with the Maverick Soul. And a special, special thank you to Arnie Goodman and all the blessings in the world and prayers to Mr. Walter Trout. May you heal quickly and get back out there, brother. We love you. Have a great night, people.